Here's a list of things men should not be doing. Requesting money for the Uber.
Why?
Driving a Honda Civic. Making the seat go closer to the steering wheel in a car. Getting drunk. Drinking any kind of flavored coffee. Black coffee is fine. Having a boss. Why does another man have to tell you what to do? Wearing any kind of purse or satchel.
And these same women will be making videos 5-10 years down the road. Where have all the good men gone? Are these videos supposed to be funny? Because they're never ever funny. And I can't fathom being a man scrolling and seeing videos like this constantly, saying basic things like having flavored coffee. He's not allowed to enjoy life. And we all know if a man made a video like this about women being like, oh, she can't wear pants. She only can drink flavored coffee. She's not allowed to adjust her seat in her car. Or she has to have it all the way up. Those videos would be taken down immediately, and that man would be hated. But it's supposed to be funny when a woman makes a video like this? What's terrible is I never see women making videos saying like, I want a man with a good personality, who's nice, who's kind, who has integrity, or any actual qualities that make sense. And this is why a lot of men hate these videos. If a woman came on here and was like, I want a man who is honest and nice, no one's gonna care.
I approached over 10 girls today, and this is what I learned. First off, most of you are making the craziest excuses I've ever seen. You guys are so insecure that instead of going out there and leveling up your social skills in combination with your looks, your personality, your physique, your money, your status, which by the way are all connected, you want to sit in my comment section and say that you are going to make the excuse to not socialize because you believe you're not good enough. Well, guess what, brother? Manifestation is real. If you believe that you are not worthy of the girl, guess what? You aren't. Every single girl that I spoke with today said the same thing about you guys. You guys are all cynical. You guys are creating hopelessness instead of hope. And my job is to change your thinking so that you can stop making excuses for yourself and go out there and get the woman that you want. You understand that? All right. Then do your job and get after it. God bless.
What is wrong with men? They have lost the art of approaching.
I happen to disagree. A lot of guys still approach women. However, there are a lot of guys out there that simply don't want to approach certain types of women.
Like, if we make eye contact, and we make eye contact multiple times, that is your sign. That is your sign that I am interested, that the girlies are interested, and that is your sign for you to come up to us and talk to us, because that is the okay.
Maybe one of the women who understands this type of thinking can explain this to me, because it doesn't make any sense. Why are you expecting guys to pick up on subtle hints when the use of these simple little things called words could really alleviate any miscommunication, and then the guy would actually know for certain that you're interested? Doesn't seem that hard.
I made eye contact so many times with this one guy, kept fucking looking at me, and I kept looking at him. Nothing. It's like, okay, so like, you're not gonna say anything, bro? So like, do women have to do the approaching nowadays? Because that's not happening. If you think that's what's gonna happen, that's not what's gonna happen.
Well then, it's abundantly clear that there had better be a lot of women that are mentally prepared to remain apparently not so happily single, because they expect men to uphold certain gender roles only when it suits the women's purpose. But welcome to equality. If you want a relationship, perhaps you might have to put in some work in order to get one.
So men, I need you guys to stop molding women who do not want to be molded. Yep. So here's what a lot of women know. A lot of women know that men tend to fall a lot harder when it comes to being in love with a woman, right? So if a woman can get you to fall in love with her, she knows that she has almost like control over you, right? Because women can fall in love 2, 3, 4 times a year, whereas men don't really fall in love like that. So when they actually do really fall in love, right, they tend to stay in situations that do not best serve them because they want to fix the situation. Because you guys are natural fixers. You guys want to resolve issues, right? You're very solution-based. It's just in a man's DNA. But women will use this against you and literally manipulate you into staying into relationships that do not best serve you. And what will happen is you'll be trying to fix this woman. You'll be trying to mold her into what you want her to be. And you'll keep on trying to fit a circle into a square. It's never going to work. So my advice to you guys, men, let's normalize actually getting a woman who has the qualities that we want and then working with that instead of trying to mold, force, and fix a woman into what you actually want. It's slim pickings out here, but guess what? There still are some good women, and make sure you value yourself enough to get with one of them.
Kind of funny when you think about it that women get so outraged about men wanting women to text first and plan dates and show any level of reciprocation. It's almost like these women forget that men need emotional support and that men are actually human beings that need emotional love and affection in return. And some of these women will actually withhold love and affection until these men make it official. And when you really think about it, if women are withholding love and affection or any kind of reciprocal energy to make men act a certain way or do certain things or to make it official, is that not manipulative because you're basically changing your behavior to get a certain outcome? Make sense. But at the same time, women want princess treatment without ever getting a ring. So let me get this straight. You're not going to show up in a relationship until it's official, but you expect him to show up in a relationship before it's ever official. Yeah, seems fair. And what's also funny is the amount of women that call men gay or sassy or say that men are on their period if they want any kind of love and affection, because that's almost like saying that you don't like being a girl or you find it insulting that women need so much emotional support. Calling a man, showing any kind of effort, planning a date, putting in any kind of reciprocal energy towards a man is literally the bare minimum for women, and it's in. Y'all come on here all day long and talk about the bare minimum, but you can't even meet the bare minimum for what men expect in relationships. And yet, some of y'all can't understand why you're still single. Okay, bye.
I need a wife to husband translator.
I think you need subtitles, maybe an attorney, and 3 business days just to process her tone.
Can someone please explain to me what these female phrases mean in man lingo? I'm fine.
Oh, that means she's giving you one last opportunity to become psychic.
You pick the restaurant.
Choose carefully because what you say afterwards determines whether you know her at all.
And I know you forgot our anniversary, but I'm not mad.
Yeah, she's not technically mad right now. She's putting together every single mistake you've ever made in the relationship. Once she's finished with that document or Excel spreadsheet, you'll be hearing about it. Forever.
Because it seems she is saying one thing, but meaning another. Please help.
Of course, first ask her directly and bring her favorite snack. You have to know which snack is her current favorite for today, which it fluctuates and changes depending on her mood and the weather and the time. Then don't believe any answer she gives you until she gets mad and says, whatever, and walks away.
I need to tell you guys about this date because I've never been out with someone who's as thoughtful as this guy. We're gonna call him Tomato Man because he was the one that got me a tomato plant, which I planted, by the way. We'll see how that goes. Tomato Man came in with a plan. He's like, I have this really nice wine bar that's right near my place. Like, do you want to go? And I was like, sure, I like wine. We get there and we walk in and the hostess starts talking to us and he's like, oh, it's okay. Like, I talked to that guy earlier. Like, he has a table for us. And I was like, okay. Then the other guy sees us and he's like, oh yeah, I got your table over here. And so we go and sit down. And first off, he asked me which side I wanted to sit on, which, like, thank you, because I want to sit with the light facing me so that I look better. I appreciated that. But then before we even, like, get menus, the waiter comes back and pours us wine. And I didn't order wine. They don't do that at wine bars. They always ask your order. It's never they're just pouring complimentary wine. So what I think happened is that he went to the wine bar first, talked to that guy and was like, hey, I have a date coming in. Like, can you sit us at this table and can you pour us this wine? Like, is that not the most insane act of chivalry you've ever heard? Like, I was floored. I feel like I've never been pampered, like, especially that was our first date. That was our first time meeting. I met him that morning and that was our first date. And it's like, it's very rare that, like, a guy will, like, truly plan a date, but, like, to go to that extent to, like, prepare like that and get me a tomato plant, like, Tomato Man.
So I just left the gym. Well, actually I just left Whole Foods because I was grocery shopping, but I think I saw, like, the hottest guy I've ever seen in my life at the gym. And I was working out and he was, like, staring at me, and he was actually, like, down the treadmill, like 2 treadmills down. So then, like, I got off the treadmill and I went to the sauna, and then I saw him again. He came to the sauna. The whole time he was, like, staring at me, and he did not say one word. And I'm just like, are you gonna say anything? Like, and I'm not like the kind of person to like approach or talk to a guy first. I know like a lot of girls do that. I just can't. Maybe that's why I'm still single. But men, like, seriously, if you're gonna like stare, like, why don't you say something? Like, what is wrong with men these days? Like, they'll stare at you, but they won't say anything. It's just so weird to me.
I do think that a lot of men would benefit from a different mindset. But once again, I think a lot of times we push it on the man. Like, well, you know, the men make this, the men do that. And a lot of women actually do this. They sit up there and they talk about, well, he's doing this, he's doing that, he's not doing the right thing, yada, yada, yada. And it's actually the man that has, on his side, he's done what he's supposed to be doing. He has actually gone back and corrected what he's supposed to be correcting. But because modern women don't want to move and they don't want to do stuff, then they just say, well, you know, it's the man's fault. Once the man gets right, I'll do what I'm supposed to be doing. Once I see a man that, you know, he's basically, essentially what they're saying is, once I see a man that's basically up to my standard of where I think he needs to be, then I'll start acting right. Until then, I'll keep on playing around. And it's the easiest thing for these modern women to do, is to continue to shift blame to the man. Instead of saying, yeah, I know I probably shouldn't be out here. I know I need to take my butt back inside.
Wow. Well. I never would have thought that my province would be the province to single-handedly end the man versus bear argument. That's right, that is Banff in Alberta. I live in Calgary, Alberta, and I'm standing very proud with my province today, because what do you mean you would pick the bear over men? All the women in the comments are like, oh my God, thank God he was there to save you. Yes, no shit, Becky, because most of you guys have been talking out of your anus, but if you actually encounter a bear in real life, like we often do in Alberta, we know that it's no joke. I find it very funny that the man was there to protect his family. She could even get her dog to leave the bear alone the whole time. I'm like, get the dog, the dog's gonna get you. Oh, but no, you guys picked the bear. You pick a nice little grizzly bear over a man who 9 times out of 10 will protect you, and 10 times out of 10, that bear is gonna you up and eat you for lunch. If you're lucky. Did you know that bears will mark their territory by ripping a gash open in your stomach, and then they will in your stomach just to make their mark their territory? Oh, and you're alive the entire time that this is happening, by the way. And then they'll just torment you and play with you like you're their food, because oh yeah, you are. I would just like to say I'm only making this video because this couple ended up just safe and fine. Had they not been just safe and fine, I would not make this video and nothing would be funny about it.
Do not be pushy with women. The problem is that when you tell men don't be pushy with women, the guys who really need to feel a little bit more confident around women take that to heart. And the guys that were blowing through boundaries already just disregard it. You have advice hyper responders, right? You have the people whose fears are confirmed by headlines and worries. And they're the ones who probably could have done with, no, dude, you can go and say hello to her. Like, she'd really love to hear from you. But he's heard, do not be pushy with women, and thought, I knew I was too much. I knew that women didn't want to hear from me. Meanwhile, the guys who were coercive, who were blowing through boundaries already, they disregard the warnings and the concern. The goal of Me Too, from a relational standpoint, and I do think it was important to call powerful men to account for using position and coerciveness and incentive in a way that was not virtuous in order to get access.
Oh, I agree completely.
The goal of Me Too was to sanitize the toxic elements of male behavior, and instead it ended up sterilizing most of them.
Why do you expect men to save women? Men to understand women's past? Men to understand women's stories? When these women say they don't want a broke guy, do they even care to understand that, okay, maybe this guy was born from poor parents? Maybe this guy came from a family, we'd say a family with no connections whatsoever. Do they ask themselves, maybe this guy was an orphan? Do they ask themselves, maybe this guy is not able to catch a break? Do they ask themselves that? They still want what? A rich man. They don't give a about your story. Why should men give a about women's stories?
What's your plan when men start walking away from marriage? What's your plan? So,
Do men or women get a raw deal from marriage? Because you just said men walking away from marriage. So is he culpable for doing that?
What is your plan when men walk away from marriage?
Is he responsible for walking away from a
changing the
marriage?
topic. What is
or
your
is
plan?
he just never guilty of anything?
My point is the very microphone you're using was built by men. The building was built by men. And there's no gratitude or appreciation. You just tell them they're not doing enough.
Got me. You got me. Yep.
Men don't approach women anymore because of FOBC. They don't want to be viewed as a creep. They don't want to be rejected, especially hot men. The only men that are going up to women and approaching them are ugly.
Guys have figured out the game, and the guys that have options don't need to approach you anymore. That's just the reality. You're so for the attention now that they have figured out that if they've got it together, if they're, pretty good looking, if they've got their finances and if they've got the confident energy, all that stuff, they don't need to go over to you.
Beautiful women love rich men, and rich men love beautiful women. The guy on Wall Street is dating the yoga instructor, not because she makes 60 grand a year. He's dating her because she is physically beautiful, and every other guy in the world wants her too. So for him, his perceived value of her goes way up. The woman is dating the rich guy, not because he has $1,000,000 in his bank account. No, she's dating him because it's a gauge of how competent he is, of how intelligent he is. And even if he did lose everything, he would know how to get that money back, unless if it was a trust fund. He would know how to get that money back because he got there in the first place. It's not the actual money that she's attracted to. It's the fact that he's ambitious and he earned that and he's disciplined. And for the woman, it's not just the fact that, oh, she's physically very gorgeous or beautiful. It's every other guy in the world wants her, so I want to try to get her first. That's what it comes down to. And for us to sit here and lie and say there's no economy to love, it's not transactional at all, it's all about personality and kindness and looks, is a complete lie. We would be doing society a massive disservice, and we all need to be more real with the dynamic of relationships.
So you want to know why a lot of black women are single and why only 27% of black women, I did my research last night, it's now 27%. As to why only 27% of black women are getting married nowadays, because they're too busy giving the black man what they think and feel he deserves instead of giving the black man what he wants. Black men have been saying since the beginning of the time, loudly, I don't want a woman who wears a whole bunch of weave. Modern black men are now saying, I'm tired of y'all wearing the fake eyelashes. I'm tired of all the makeup. I'm tired of the bust-down lace front wigs with the swoops in the front that look crazy. I'm tired of y'all not going to the gym. I'm tired of y'all making excuses for not going to the gym, being overweight. I'm tired of y'all being argumentative. I'm tired of y'all not cooperating. They have literally been screaming at the top of their lungs. And black women are still doing whatever they want to do, saying, oh, even though you said you wanted all these things, nah, I'm not going to give you all those things. I'm going to give you what I feel as though you deserve. So this package here that's not cooperative, that's overweight, that talks back, that has the weave and bust down lace front wigs, I'm going to give you this instead, and you just need to accept it. Black men are tired, y'all. I'm going to need y'all to get together.
I'm not bringing in my purse but lip gloss.
And that right there, young lady, is one of the dumbest things you can ever do. Okay? I'm a whole man. And my parents told me you don't go on a date with nobody unless you got some money in your pocket. You don't even leave the house without some money in your pocket. Now, this is where you get one of those videos of, so you ain't gonna pay for the meal because I ain't getting you none. See, you setting yourself up for failure right then, right there. Now, being real, if he paid for the whole meal, there's nothing wrong with you just doing the tip. But I'm saying, ain't nothing wrong with it. But at the same time, for you to sit here and say, oh, I ain't coming in with nothing but lip gloss in my pocketbook. Mama, that mean you ain't got money to go get you a cab, or Uber, nothing. You can't even get yourself out of a situation if it get dangerous. I'm gonna need you to rethink this. Geez, what kind of parents y'all have?
A man doesn't want to fight a man on every decision. And I was like,
preach.
Me? Are you calling me a man? But then I had to realize what he was saying. Basically, it's me as an independent woman, understanding that I can definitely take the lead, but I don't have to. I can trust you to do it. And if need be, if I need to step in, then I will. And I think a lot of women who went through that trauma like I did,
me too.
always being hyper independent, need to grab onto that concept.
I agree.
We know you can do it, baby. We got that. But you don't have to, okay?
Somebody told me to quote this. They said, dominant versus submissive is peace.
Yeah.
Submissive versus submissive is peace. But dominant versus dominant is war.
Absolutely.
And so if you both trying to be dominant inside your household, then you're going to be in a constant state of war.
Yeah.
How come women don't want nice guys?
Women don't want a nice guy because nice guys are manipulative. There is something called nice guy syndrome. Nice guy syndrome translates to putting on an act in order to get something in return. So when you are classified as a nice guy, you're not acting or showing up authentically. I like to shift it to a kind king. So women can feel when a guy is doing something just to get something in return versus someone who is just a good guy, nice gestures, and I'm doing this to really connect with you. And it's not just about you. This is how I operate. This is how I move
so
through the world.
So it comes down to being authentic.
100%.
And I just look at that. And then what you get from behind the camera is the woman literally being useless. Literally being useless. No. I'm remembering there was a clip where a man and woman were driving and she told the man, slow down. The man, it was a car that something happened. The man, blow your horn. And the man blew his horn. Okay, stop blowing your horn. Oh, just don't do too much. The man was doing what she asked him to do. And she was talking a bunch of stupidness. Actually, a whole bunch of stupidity. And it was confusing. And a lot of men in the comments were like, man, my God. And even women in the comments were like, so what does she want him to do? Exactly.
My husband's toxic trait is that anytime I have a problem, instead of him just taking accountability, he will flip it. I have started to talk to him like a therapist. Yesterday, it happened. And I said something and he said, well, you do this, and this. Okay. I literally walked away. He was like, what? You don't want to talk about it? I said, no, you're showing a lack of emotional intelligence. This morning, he sat right next to me right there. He's like, I'm sorry. I just wanted to say I'm sorry. You're right. I wasn't being fair to you, and that's not nice, and I apologize, and I'm taking accountability. And what's crazy is all that I had a problem with is how late he's been going to bed lately, and it's been due to work, but I'm also like, you have a great work-life balance. You are just doing this late at night because you choose to do that.
When men realize that they're in a marriage or a long-term relationship with a woman like this, they realize that sometimes it's just not worth it. And it is not because she doesn't have a valid point, because when she brings up a topic that is bothering her, she should be able to communicate about that without him getting defensive and talking about whatever else is making him feel the same thing with her. However, the fact that she's spilling all of this information about their marriage out into the internet on her platform where she has millions of followers says something. And it's not even just the information, it is the literal mocking of this man. And lastly, the other problem I see is the exact issue that she's having with him, and that is him going to bed too late. To me, that just sounds a tad bit controlling, but what do you guys think?
You want to know something? Women are the absolute cruelest creatures on this planet.
And, things I see that women do, things I know and heard that women do, the paternity issue, how these women lay next to a man for years, looking a kid in the eyes for years, knowing there's no relation, how good men get stomped out, how kids are just used for a check. I've come to the conclusion that I think women are just pure evil. Like, I really think women are just pure evil. Women are naturally evil beings, I believe. And only a woman who's honest about our natural nature of being deceptive can change it. Like, for example, I know that naturally there's a selfish, gimme, I want that type of way about me. So about people, period, but especially women. So if you can't be honest and say that that's in there, then you can't deal with it and address it. And so I've noticed that the women who say they're the dopest, they're the this, they're the that, are usually the worst, because you have to acknowledge the beast in you in order to tame it. And so I really just think most women are naturally evil, period. I just think they're evil. And not even just how they deal with men and kids makes them evil, but how they deal with each other. Women are so jealous, deceptive, conniving. Like, you can just feel the evil when you are in the presence of certain women. You can walk in a room and you just feel the dagger.
Do women really like bad guys? Man, I think about it sometimes and I'm like, my life would be so much easier if I just liked nice guys, right? If I liked guys who were honest, guys who were kind, generous, thoughtful man who's gonna bring me flowers or something. I don't know. You know, I liked guys who just went out of their way and thought about me. The bare minimum. If I just liked guys who gave me the bare minimum, that would be awesome. But I am a little bit more below than that, right? I like liars. I do. I'm gonna admit it. I like men who are gonna treat me like I do. I like men who are gonna go out of their way to make me jealous. And then they come back and I'm like, babe, why'd you do that? I like to feel something because I'm a pretty happy person, pretty peaceful person on my own. So when I have a guy come in and up my life and make me feel something, I'm like, I love this. I love this. This is so great. You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Okay, I didn't ask for this life. I didn't choose this life. This life chose me. Okay, I didn't ask my dad to leave. He just did.
The lack of self-reflection in the Black community really does need to be studied.
Decent! Mind you, decent is the new standard and it's fucking sad, man.
You would think that when you see a video that is talking about an epidemic of single women, that those women would then take the time to reflect like, hey, what is it that we're doing? That all of us are here single.
Where are the men? Where are the men?
Too many women are following in the footsteps of other women that have led to their singleness, assuming that it's not going to lead you also to singleness.
To put up with this, I don't mean some of us are happy with being single.
We know a lot of y'all aren't happy with being single. If we're trying to get a man and that man does not want us, but all these other ones do, that's because those men are on your level, babe. And the one up there isn't.
When y'all see a good man, y'all want him. That's another issue we'll get into another video.
Why do we have to get into that in another video? Why can't we get into that right now?
Can someone explain to me why there are still people who say thank you for your service to veterans? Like, to me, it seems so 2000s, 2010s to me. Like, I did not realize there were people who were still so invested in thanking the troops in, like, 2026.
You know how we all grow up hearing the phrase, there's no such thing as a stupid question. You know, go ahead and ask your question. I used to believe that. Until this moment, no, I'm not going to answer your question. Because if I did, and I believe so many lovely veterans have already attempted to logically answer your question, and of course their answers hit the nail right on the head, but I have so much respect for veterans, including my father, that I don't think that they should even have to be exposed to somebody that has zero common sense. And this might sound harsh, but if you're gonna come on here and ask this with your full chest and mean it, like, this is not just rage bait, you can go to her page and see that it's not rage bait. You should be on the fast track to being canceled, and I'm here for it.
Girls tell guys exactly what they want with subtle hints. Example, I have left these flowers here for 3 weeks. They've been here on the table for 3 weeks, and I've been thinking, my boyfriend passes this table 6 billion times a day. He sees this 6 billion times a day. One of these times he's gonna pass by and think, the flowers are crumbling all over the table. I think it's probably time to replace the flowers. I was sadly mistaken, as Justin Bieber said. I was sadly mistaken, and now I have to throw these flowers away, and I'm gonna probably get new ones for myself. I just feel like that was the most subtle hint I could have possibly left.
You know what your man's actually probably thinking is that you must really like those flowers because you're keeping them for a long time, and he's not going to touch them because you must really like them. Or he didn't even notice the flowers were there. Now, what he might notice is an empty vase with nothing in it. Maybe a little bit of water. Maybe try that. Or maybe just tell him what you want and don't make him read your mind.
I think that a lot of times women will respect a man that's outside of their relationship before they respect the guy that they with.
Why do you think
what?
You know what?
100%.
I can't. I'm not going to
100%.
push against that. What I actually will do is add to that. When JT and I first got back together, I had like a roster of dudes, right? You know, Bookie, Chevy was
break
there.
that up.
Had like a lot.
But I
of,
love you.
People
I'm
that I
put
had
out
been,
there.
talking to and whatnot. And when we went to the restaurant with my friends for my birthday, a guy that, I had been texting with or whatever, texted me like, hey, I just saw you walk in, come here. And I looked at JT and I looked at my phone and I looked at JT and I said, I walked in here with this man. I'm not about to get up and go to another man's table and speak to them and whatnot.
Yeah.
That's embarrassing. That was the first time I respected a man like that.
Oh, wow.
So you saying that a lot of women are with men that they don't respect, I agree with you on that, because even being in relationships before that, I never cared to respect no man because I knew they wasn't my forever mate. I didn't care about, you don't like when I do this? Boy, I don't give a...
A lot of girls wind up getting into a relationship with a guy that they settled for. It's not even the guy that they want.
That part.
Hello again. We keep bumping into each other, don't we? Good, how are you? Me too. We can't be going in the same direction. This is crazy. Oh, goodness. What's your name? Nice to meet you. I'm Keegan.
Keegan?
Yeah.
All right. Yep, we are right.
Or we weren't next to each other? Are you serious?
Did I get your number before I leave?
Yeah. Okay.
Let me,
I literally just asked him, are you shopping for your girlfriend? And he was like, no. What about you? And I'm like, I am not shopping for my girlfriend. And then that's when he asked for my number. So if you want to shoot your shot at the grocery store, make eye contact a couple of times. We kept running into each other. Outside and then inside so just go for it. Literally.
You can never ever be a high value man if your partner or your woman is accessible and available to other men, because your entire respect comes from the woman you choose to mother your children. If you choose loosely and you choose a woman that you would be upset if your daughter grew up to be like, how can you be a high value man if you can't make high value choices? If you can't select women properly, how can you claim to be a high value man simply because you made 6 figures last year? You made 6 figures and you invested it into a home. High value men have high value standards. Your values have to be high in order to be high value, not your bank balance. But because if you're authentically proud of her, you can't wait to have a daughter that acts exactly like her. But if you are just proud of her when you walk into a room and people stare and people are like, wow, but then privately she treats you badly, or privately you don't know if you can trust her or not, but publicly you're really proud, that's a fake ego boost.
And, I think maybe that's what the problem is. They were talking about the soft guy era, men being delusional and wrong on purpose. They know they're wrong. That's a problem. Too many times, people, they want men to just blow past them doing dumb stuff. And it moves past, well, I'm just venting. I just want somebody to talk to. It moves past that into, well, I just want to act irresponsible anyway. And I don't want you to, it's really not that I want to vent. It's that I want to say something off the wall. And I don't want you to check me on it. That's what that is.
So Goody and Scarface Mark have been on a generational sassy run, okay? One I sadly had to watch from the sidelines because I'm in my unattractive era. However, I feel like a lot of y'all are taking the wrong things away from that, okay? Like you guys are like, see ladies, like this is how ridiculous you sound when you do that, blah, blah, blah. The point should be that you should like also do the thing. Because did they make a fool out of the delusional community on this app? Absolutely, and you love to see it. However, do you think they're gonna stop being delusional? Absolutely not. Like before any of this happened, they all knew exactly how they'd react if a man said the same things they said, okay? Their whole thing is being wrong on purpose. So why not do exactly what they do? And yes, that community is gonna get like very upset with you, but the thing is you don't wanna date that community anyway. And also, what they won't do, another woman will. I'm a living testament to that, and y'all seen it, okay? Y'all seen me get the flowers. Y'all know I've never paid for a flight. Y'all know I don't be paying for dates. Like, and that's another reason I sat it out, because I couldn't have y'all think that I'm doing it for the sake of a bit. This is a very real thing that is available to you, and that could possibly be the most feminist thing that you could possibly do. But you do have to be attractive. Okay, that's kind of the most important part. Like, it's not really gender-based for me, like this whole like thought process. It's like you have to be attractive enough to pull it off. If you were born unattractive, that's the universe telling you that you have to settle for less. Be patient, people, okay? Give me a few days. Now, I'll once again be attractive enough to spread my rhetoric across the internet, far and wide. Razor burn? gone, all right? I'm just giving it a few extra days for cushion. And I'm gonna get my hair braided. Oh my gosh, you don't understand how much content I've been sitting on because I'm like, I need to be attractive enough to say what I'm gonna say. And I'm so ready. Okay, I've never been more prepared in my life. I'm so ready to get out of this unattractive era and start changing lives once more.
What a truly wonderful idea. Just imagine the lessons that will be ingrained in those young minds that they will carry with them through the entirety of their lives. That instead of learning about being loved, nurtured, and accepted by their parents for who they are, they will instead get to learn firsthand, by the hands of the very ones who are supposed to love and protect them, all about the effects of sexism. I mean, what better lesson could they have to learn? But notwithstanding, they'll also be learning a great deal about resentment, as they will learn to resent each other for how they are treated based on their gender. But then they will also learn to resent anyone else who happens to be a different gender than they are, and carry that hostility with them. But as they learn and go through life, they will eventually learn why they also should resent their parents.
Womansplaining Men to Women, episode 128, I think. If there's one thing I've learned about men and women during the holidays, it is that women do not want their men home. If you're a dude and you take 2 weeks off work without telling your wife, you might as well just slap her right across the face, I guess, because they are not used to it. It just throws them right off. I've been seeing a lot of posts like this. My husband has been off work since the 24th and I haven't unalived him. Please clap for me. And these posts tend to be super relatable, with women agreeing that they do not want their husbands home this long. This woman actually feels a similar joy leaving the house because her husband is home all the time on long-term disability. And what's really interesting about this post is that when people ask if he's lazy or needs more work to do, you know, while he's on vacation, she actually says that he's not lazy and has done every chore she's asked of him. She just still doesn't want to be around him. And holy ladies, this is a huge problem because I don't know if you've ever thought about this, but a man can't work forever, and neither can you. Eventually you'll both have to retire, and when you do that, you'll have to live together and spend time together and grow into old age together, and you'll have to do that without committing spousal homicide. In fact, these will be the years you need each other most to survive. So this is your trial by fire. This is how you learn to do just that. There's a scene in Bruce Almighty, it might have been Evan Almighty, where God says that if you pray for patience, he doesn't give you patience. He gives you an opportunity to be patient. You are never going to be just handed a person who never annoys you and knows everything you want. But surely what you do know is why you married this person, right? So why did we forget that just because you took a couple weeks off? Listen, of course this is going to be a change to your routine and might throw you off a little bit, but I am begging you to try and see how special this is to him and your kids if you have them, and try not to focus on what could go wrong or how he could mess things up. He's been looking forward to this time with you and to be at home and not working for so long. And I'm going to say something else that you don't want to hear. He's also been looking forward to doing nothing. He really just wants to use some of his vacation time for nothing. In fact, everyone deserves some time for nothing. Look, you married him for him, right? Not for the time that he's gone. And it would just mean the world to him if you made him feel that way.
Women will leave that guy every single time. They will leave the doormat every single time for a guy who doesn't take their every single time. And they'll sit here and they will lecture you and say, women want to be catered to. They want it to be like flowered with attention and affection and chaste and, you know, take a boombox outside my window and surprise me with flowers all the time. No, it's over the top. They will take that attention, build up their ego. And if that guy makes a habit of that, of being a doormat, they will leave that guy in a hot second.
Men are always going to gain so much more from their relationships with women than women are going to gain from their relationships with men. And you can argue, oh, like, what if he does this for you, or he's handy, or, you know, you can hire someone. Like, there's just the mental energy that women give to men. It's.
Shorty said that men gain more from being friends with women than women gain from being friends with men. And then she said, he gave the example, like, what if he's handy? What if he helps you with this, that, or third, da, 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 da. She said, because women give more mental power, more mental energy in being friends with men. I'm sorry. Have you ever been friends with a woman before? A woman will come to you about her problems, right? And then you'll give her a solution to said problem, right? She won't listen to the solution, but she'll still complain about it. She will always be in a crisis, but never do anything to solve said crisis. You don't think that's mentally taxing? Mind you, this isn't even just a perspective of a man being friends with a woman. I've heard women who are friends with women say this as well. What mental toll does it take on you to be friends with a man? Because men, this is so stupid. This is so stupid. A man might come to you because you're a woman and vent to you more than he would his male friends. But even in that, he's still looking for a solution, right? Your female friends are going to vent to you and not look for a solution. What have I gained from women being my friends? Not saying that like me being friends with men, I've gained so much. I'm just saying like, what have I gained from being friends with women? Honestly, the only people I've ever fallen off with on a friendship basis is women. Like those are like, I think I've fallen off with one dude who was a friend of mine, one guy in my whole life, one guy. Like we had an actual falling out. But with women, there's always a falling out. Women rarely have best friends that last longer than 5 years. That's why when you ask a man, who's your best friend and when did you meet them? They'll say something like kindergarten, middle school. You ask a woman, hey, who's your best friend? Oh, I met her in college. How old are you? I'm 24. So like last year? Yeah, I'll just be saying nonsense, bro.
But why do women feel that they can't court a man when he's courting her? So why do women feel like you can't tell him, hey, get dressed, meet me here, or I'm going to come pick you up. We got dinner plans. We got this. Let me fly you out. Why is it a problem for women to do the same thing to men, but expect the man to do everything? I guess I'm just like, I'm mind blown when it comes to that.
So I'm a jump in on that, because I can relate to you. So I think that a lot of women was raised off of survival and not love. I think a lot of women was raised on literally coming out of survival. I wasn't, and I'm just speaking from my personal experience. I was raised out of love. I was taught that if he paid a bill, you leave the tip.
I don't participate in those conversations because I think that women who don't take care of the men that they love are broke, to be quite honest. The ones who complain about, oh, why are you doing that? It's because they don't have it to do. Because let me tell you something. When a woman loves a man, she will spin that bag.
Man, this is the Nothing But the Truth live podcast.
Finally, my first time getting hit on in Home Depot, and he's not even attractive. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but I'm here all the time. So for all you people who are like, go to Home Depot, that's where all the men are. No, they're not.
If this is your first time getting hit on at Home Depot and your first thought is about how you don't find him attractive and that actually upsets you enough to make a video about it and post it on social media, girl, it's like complaining about a meal that somebody else has made for you. You don't have to eat it if you don't like it. You don't even have to receive it, but please say thank you. Don't go out of your way to insult the chef. Because ladies, even though there's a lot of men that are single, yes, there's a lot of men at Home Depot, yes, there's also a lot of men that are married and they're just trying to get their home project done. Even for those that are single and they're at Home Depot, they're not really thinking they're gonna meet the love of their lives there at the store. They're just trying to get their work done. And honestly, they're in that mindset because they've been told so often that women don't want to be approached. So they really think, especially at like a male-dominated store, that you might not feel safe to be approached. And he absolutely does not want to cross that line. So if you find somebody at a store like that you're interested in, and hopefully they don't have a wedding band on, say something to them. You approach them. It's really that simple.
And I think, when these ladies talking about this is my first time getting hit on in this place or doing this, and this, and I don't even find him attractive. Even if you didn't, why would you make a video about that? Like, who cares? So what, you didn't find him attractive? How come you can't just empty your basket into the back of your trunk or in the back of your car, in your trunk, and just go home? Just go home. There's too many things to do besides listening to yourself talk. Shut up.